Welcome to ACC Basketball presented by Geico, and tonight from the great city of Atlanta, Georgia. The Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets are hosting NC State. They're both desperate for a victory. Hi everybody, Dave O'Brien alongside the former Virginia star Corey Alexander. Very kind of you to join us. Darian Sebron for the Wolfpack of NC State quietly is having individually a really good year, Corey.
I believe he is. I believe he's a first-team All-ACC performer this season and really has grown by leaps and bounds since his redshirt freshman season a year ago. When you think Darian Sebron, you think about the versatility, not everything that he does on the offensive end, but defensively as well. And that's part of the reason why he's our Geico player spotlight. When you look at his numbers, second in minutes per game, fourth in scoring, second in field goal percentage, and then rebounding. He's one of the best rebounders in the league. And when you consider everything that he does, one of very few players, actually three in the power conference, leading his team in scoring, assists, rebounds, and steals.
Michael DeVoe on the other side for the Yellow Jackets. He is the ACC's number 3 scorer.
And Michael DeVoe is not just a guy that shoots threes. He loves to get downhill and attack, making plays for himself and his teammates. But of course, when you shoot 39% from beyond the arc, you want to look for as many of those as you can get.
Lit up Georgia for 37 back in November, so he could be absolutely explosive. They'll need him tonight. The Yellow Jackets at 10-14, 3-10 in the conference. NC State at 10-16, 3-12, and in the basement right now in the ACC. They started out quickly 5-1 in November, but the highlights have been few and far between for the Wolfpack since then. They win the opening tip, and we're underway. And a trio of Sebron, Helms, and Smith, the highest scoring trio in the ACC. Problem is getting help behind those guys.
Yeah, and when you consider that there's not much depth on this NC State team, a lot of it has to do with injuries. But Kevin Keese doesn't have a complement of bench players as he normally had.
They do get it downstairs, the quick strike. Dewana for 2. As you look at the starting 5 for the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. Jordan Usher, the 6'7" senior, averaging 15 points per game. The number 2 scorer and leading rebounder for the Yellow Jackets.
Now, we talk a lot about Michael DeVoe, as we should, but Jordan Usher, in my opinion, is the key to success for Georgia Tech. He's a guy that gets it done on both ends of the floor, but also, as Josh Pastner easily admits, the best passer for this Georgia Tech team.
NC State coming in with Smith, Sebron, Marcel, Helms, and Dewana, who just got that first basket of the game moments ago. Long distance. And DeVoe with a misfire. He's 39% out there.
And he doesn't miss many of those open ones. You're talking about one of the better shooters in the league, but NC State attacking the paint early in this game, and this is another guy. You do not want him to get a wide open look. So Quavion Smith has been knocking them down all season long.
He's got a taped up left wrist, but as you said when you were watching him in warm-ups, that won't mean anything because he shoots with the right hand.
A man after my own heart, Oakley. I love him. He has never met a shot that he did not like, and part of the reason why he's one of the best freshmen, not only in the ACC, but one of the best freshmen in the country.
He's made more threes than anybody in the conference. As you mentioned, the freshman out of Greenville, North Carolina, popped up and controlled by the Wolfpack. And Marcel, the Virginia transfer, from the corner. Helms will drain that, a three-pointer. And a quick timeout here. Quick start here for the Pack.
And Josh Pastner does not like what he has seen here early. Has to talk it over with his squad. Right now, NC State out to a 8-0 early run.
Well, the Wolfpack settling in right away. 3 for 5 shooting it. 2 for 2 from three-point land. Helms from the corner. Smith as well, getting started early.
A loose ball to Quavion Smith, being able to pick it up in the right spot, knocking down the 3, and then just a simple kick ahead to Jericho Helms, who's locked in early in this game.
Smith, by the way, on pace to break the school record for a freshman hitting threes. He could do it tonight, the way he shoots it.
Well, again, he's going to get the looks, no question about it. He's going to get his attempts. And it's one of the things I truly respect and love about Quavion Smith. He's going to be heard from throughout the entire game.
Usher slamming on the brakes and threw it away. So a choppy start, certainly for the Yellow Jackets. Talking about three-point accuracy and scoring from these guys. And that's where they get it. It's a dynamic triumvirate.
But this is a backcourt-heavy team when you consider the scoring from the perimeter. They don't get much at all in the painted area, which has been a struggle. And, of course, when you play without who should have been the best center in the league this year, that would be a problem.
Tough shot there, and traffic by Helms wouldn't go. In transition, good defense on the other end by Morcell. He's got it up top, right by his defender, and drops in two.
And that's where NC State can be dangerous. If they're getting production offensively from Casey Morcell, if they're finding that fourth scorer, someone else to come in and pick up the slack and take some of the pressure off of that big three we showed you earlier, that's when they can really become dangerous.
Usher, great feed in traffic, and one as well as the Yellow Jackets get it to go. Howard in traffic.
And Obi, earlier today, Josh Pastner told us that Jordan Usher was their best passer, and this is just a display of that when you see the pocket pass between two defenders right in the scoring pocket of Howard, who does the easy work of laying it in, an opportunity for the three-point play.
Howard, the 6'10 junior, scuffles at the line, only 58%. And you were talking about the loss of one of the great defenders in the country in Manny Bates a minute into the season opener, and you don't overcome that.
No, you really don't, and that's something that Kevin Keats has tried to replace all season long, and Darion Sebron has done a great job of replacing some of the production, especially offensively. But Manny Bates was growing as an offensive player, had a big jump as a sophomore last year, was getting much better on the offensive end of the floor, and Coach Keats talked about how much more they were going to feature him in the front court this season.
Helms picks off the rebound. Of course, Bates dislocating their right shoulder 57 seconds into the season opener against Bucknell, and lost for the season. A devastating way to begin your season.
And everyone deals with injuries as Usher comes up with the turnover. Fortunate not to be called on a foul, but great hustle.
Smith.
By Smith getting back.
Plucked it away on the other end, and now pull up hop. Left it short. He battles for the rebound. A tie-up. NC State sharp early offensively.
Yeah, great start for the Wolfpack, and of course, a lot of that has to do with Darion Sebron, his ability to attack the basket, making plays for himself and his friends.
ACC Network Basketball is presented by Geico. Save even more when you bundle home and car insurance. Well, Alvarado did that more than once in his career. You're talking about making big shots. Georgia Tech 63-61, knocking off NC State. That was March of 2019. And Kevin Keats, maybe this is under his skin a little bit, because he's never, as the NC State head coach, knocked off Georgia Tech 0-4.
Yeah, the only coach and the only program that Kevin Keats has not gotten a win against in his 4+ seasons as the head coach at NC State is Georgia Tech. Right now, his team off to a great start, but all these games as of late have come down to the wire between these two programs.
All 5 players who have checked in for the Wolfpack have scored. Rebound comes to Allen, trying to shuffle that pass and thrown away. Thomas Allen, the senior out of Raleigh, North Carolina, with the turnover. Josh Pastner is his 6th year now for the Yellow Jackets. Took the Georgia Tech team on a scintillating run to the ACC tournament title 1 year ago, but that team had a couple of outstanding players who could take over games, couldn't they?
They absolutely did, Obi. And when you consider Jose Alvarado as well as Moses Wright, the ACC's Player of the Year and Defensive Player of the Year a season ago for Josh Pastner, and that team dealt with injuries late, and of course, in going into the NCAA tournament, Moses Wright unable to play in the tournament game. And that's part of the reason why Josh Pastner feels like his team was unable to make a run in last year's NCAA tournament. But getting there, of course, never enough for coaches, but great for Josh Pastner and this program getting back into the tournament.
Cam Hayes swings it for Smith. Moving the ball along the perimeter, shot clock down to 10. Hayes on the drive. That's a tough shot, but he makes it.
And Cam Hayes, who's now coming off the bench for NC State, has started the majority of the year, doing a great job of attacking the rim and, more importantly, not pouting, going out and playing in his role, playing hard each and every time out.
Wolfpack keeping this guy at bay so far, but that's tough to do. DeVoe on the drive. The senior drops it in. He came in with almost 1,600 career points, 10 points away from passing John Sally here on the all-time list.
But no one will ever pass John Sally for all-time laughs, especially in this building. John
Right.
Sally, a true comedian and one of the best personalities that the game of basketball has ever seen,
He
especially
sure was.
here at
Even
Georgia
in
Tech.
college
Yeah,
here
he
in
was.
Atlanta.
Absolutely.
Big-time personality. Go over the shoulder for Smith. And a little 14-footer won't drop. So NC State trying to add to their advantage here. On top 14-4. And look at Hayes way downtown. They left him wide open. And he drills it.
And just like that, Jordan Usher returning to the game. Josh Pastner not liking at all what he's seeing, especially from his defense. Rarely do you see a team come in and light Georgia Tech up the way that North Carolina State has done here early.
Yellow Jackets have dropped 4 of their last 5. They fell to Virginia last weekend by 10. Here's Smith, loose for the slam. And another timeout. 19-4 NC State.
Obi, I believe the left hand is okay because that's the one that Jaquavion threw it down with.
Well, the Wolfpack intent on snapping a 6-game losing skid. This is how you finish right here.
This is a great play by NC State, and Cam Hayes with a kick-ahead pass, and Jaquavion Smith knows how to finish and get the rest of it done. But now I got a problem, Obi. I just got out on a break. I got a highlight dunk, and I got to sit down. That's my reward for getting the nice dunk. Come on, Coach Keith.
Underneath talking about slams. Georgia Tech right back, Rodney Howard. And NC State 3 out of 5 from three-point land. Obviously making the twos as well. As a team, only 33% beyond that line so far this season, but been a different tale so far tonight. They leave Hayes open again, and it's the same result. Cam Hayes buries it.
Obi, this team, and when you think about, of course, Sebron, Cam Hayes, Jericho Helms, etc., this group finished the season a year ago winning 5 straight games on the road. That hadn't happened at NC State since 1973-74, back when they were winning national championships. So there was something built at that time. The dealing with the injury to Manny Bates hasn't helped, but you can see they're playing with confidence, especially on the road.
Georgia Tech a little too much one-on-one, actually. Then a different story for the Wolfpack, sharing the ball so effectively. Hayes will swing it. Trying to add to a 22-6 lead here tonight in Atlanta. Hayes again, not this time, tried to make it 3 for 3.
No problem with that shot by Kevin Keats. When you've knocked down 2 in a row, he'll give up that.
Coleman with a misfire. Debo Coleman was very good at that three-point line. DeVoe with a miss, and they're just not falling at all for the Yellow Jackets. Both of these teams in dire need of a victory. Helms will line one up and around and out. And it is out of bounds off the Wolfpack. Cam Hayes cooking.
He really is. Cam Hayes playing aggressive and confident early in the game. The drive to the rim, the beautiful left-hand finish, and then too good of a shooter to give him this much room, knocking down not 1, but 2 threes here early.
Well, the Wolfpack sharing the offense. 6 players have scored, and they are 4 out of 8 beyond the three-point line.
And North Carolina State can score, no question about that. We know they have a bunch of firepower, especially on the perimeter, to put points on the board. The problem for them this season has been the defensive end of the floor, but a great start for them early. But whenever you come out and you make 4 of your first 8 threes, that's a good sign for you. And you think about what this team has done throughout the last stretch. They really did it with Smith and Sebron on the bench. Sebron back in the game now.
Meanwhile, Georgia Tech just 6 points and 4 turnovers. So having a lot of trouble hanging on to the ball. Usually very good at forcing turnovers. In fact, they lead the ACC in that category. On the baseline, Usher will finish that one off. The 6'7" senior out of Canton, Georgia.
And Josh Pastner talked to their shoot around today. They had to cut hard, and that was a hard cut by Jordan Usher there, making himself available for DeVoe to be able to find him in what looked to be a dead play.
They're going to double up on Hayes and try and trap him. Jump ball. It'll stay on this end for NC State with 11:08 to go. Kevin Keats in year number 5. And looking for that first victory against the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets as Allen goes to the bench.
Well, we talked about Cam Hayes, who's been great here early, but when Hayes started coming off the bench, that put Darian Sebron at the point guard position. So the biggest PG in the ACC, finding the leading three-point field goal maker in the ACC in the corner. And these two guys have become a dynamic backcourt.
He's talking to Coach Keats about Smith, and I used the phrase shooter, and he said, you know, he's a lot more than that. He is a true scorer. He's not just a shooter. He can score in a variety of different ways. He just got popped right in the mouth. DeVoe on the spin into the paint. Usher long range, straight on, but no, got a good look. And here's Smith, will step back and fire another one. And it drops in anyway. Well, that's a shooter's touch.
But I love the reaction by Kevin Keats. There was never a bad shot, anything on that possession. It was solely just to look at it and watch the bounce. And Coach Keats had some body language with it as the ball bounces all the way up to the shot clock and then back in for 3 on the pull-up from Jaquavion Smith.
You know, watching him tape up that wrist in the pregame and get some treatment on it, you were like, well, wait a minute. Might be something wrong here. Far from it.
Far from it. Far from it. And again, when you got the type of offensive confidence a guy like this has, that's just a minor blip on the radar. He's not thinking anything about that. That tape is only for protection.
Apparently, he has hit the most threes of any ACC player. That's not any freshman. That's everybody coming into this tilt tonight. NC State has made 6 of their last 8 shots. They've been sizzling since Jump Street.
They really have, and you can tell they came in with a different level of concentration in this game. And of course, we mentioned Kevin Keats never beating Georgia Tech and Josh Pastner, and I'm sure that's something these players have heard about and talked about amongst themselves, and destined to come in and try to get a win here. And still a whole lot of time left, but off to a great start.
Officials tonight, Ted Valentine. The day after Valentine's Day, Pat Driscoll and Matt Potter. Good crew here in Atlanta. Shot clock inside 10. Downstairs for the slam. Another Wolfpack man gets loose. Dewana.
But that shows you what Coach Keats was talking about before. Jaquavion Smith is much more than a scorer. That's a beautiful find off a pick and roll action to a wide open Dewana under the basket. But the reason he's wide open is because 2 guys have to guard Jaquavion Smith. When you're this hot, you need 2 guys guarding you. And Smith does the right thing, finds the open man, and on the defensive end of the floor, it's another turnover forced by NC State.
Well, Dewana, one of only 3 on the roster above 6'9", with of course Manny Bates out for the season. He stepped into that starting lineup after Bates got hurt in the season opener. 4 points, about 4 rebounds a game, and a foul, a whistle away from the basketball. 9:15 to go in the half.
We talked with Josh Pastner earlier today as you get an opportunity to see the switch, and where Smith has to switch off on Dewana underneath. Dewana fortunate to be able to get away with that. He actually put the arm around Smith's head on that possession, but of course when you're 6'9" compared to a guy 6 foot, you're going to kind of be in that range.
Yeah, Coleman tipped that one out of play. So back over to the Wolfpack. NC State, a team that leads the country in the pick and roll, although they did not expect to be able to do much of that tonight with all the zones that the Yellow Jackets played. They're going to take it away.
Well, and that's been the change, because Josh Pastner, the way that they wanted to guard NC State coming in was going to be zone. But the way they've shot the basketball and carved up the zone, forced to go man-to-man on the last couple possessions.
So 3rd team foul here against the Wolfpack. Jalen Gibson, 6'10" sophomore, about ready to check in for Kevin Keats. And DeVoe will make 76% at the line, drops in the first one. Wednesday night, ACC Network gets more men's basketball coming your way. North Carolina hosting Pitt at the Dean Dome. 8 p.m. Eastern right here at ACC Network and the ESPN app. Tar Heels really got things rolling right away against a depleted FSU team on Saturday. You and I were there at Chapel Hill, and they just blew the doors off of FSU.
They really did, and of course North Carolina very good at home. The one mishap against Duke, but Pittsburgh playing much better basketball now. 5 wins for Jeff Capel and his group. Getting Ithiel Horton back in the lineup has been a major difference maker.
Georgia Tech off to a 4 for 16 shooting start. They have not hit a field goal in almost 3 minutes now. And 30-12, the Wolfpack in command. Sebron averaging 18 points, 9 rebounds a game. Here's Morcell with a misfire. He's become a starter the last 3 or 4 weeks. Boy, somehow that rolled right to the feet of Rodney Howard, and he knows what to do with it.
And although that was an unorthodox fast break, it was started by Jordan Usher, and that's one of the advantages that Georgia Tech has. When Jordan Usher gets a rebound, his ability to push the basketball and make plays gets them out in transition, and he can be a difference maker when he gets his hands on the basketball off the glass.
This ball on the deck, scooped up by Smith. Here's Coleman. The air mails it. Debo Coleman, who is a fine shooter. Now that play didn't touch anything. Morcell, and a whistle. Fouled on the play by Howard. 7:40 left. NC State in complete control. Tonight's Worth a Watch is brought to you by Principal. NC State lining them up from 3-point land and knocking them down to the tune of 6 of 11.
Yeah, the Wolfpack shooting the basketball very confidently on the road. More importantly, sharing the basketball very well. 5 assists, and I'm sure outside of the road bounce that Jaquavion Smith got on the 1-3, the other threes have been assisted on. So when you look at it, sharing the basketball well, shooting 55% from the field, and you mentioned the 6 for 11 from beyond the arc. They shoot 33% on the season, but having their way here at McCamish.
Well, he's looking for his shot, but a good passer too. That one gets tangled up. And a tie up on the deck. They let him continue to play, and finally a foul. Meanwhile, Georgia Tech 0 for 7 outside their 3-point land. And Jalen Gibson will pick up that foul for the Wolfpack, number 1 on the sophomore. Coming up Thursday, Notre Dame and the Georgia Tech women coming your way. ACC Network. Of course, the Notre Dame men have been one of the great success stories of this ACC season.
They absolutely have. Starting the season 3-4, and then you look at the fact that they're right at the top of the ACC as Michael DeVoe gets downhill. You know, very inspiring basketball has been played in South Bend for Mike Gray.
30-16 Wolfpack. Morcell with a pull up. They'll get another shot at it. Gibson with the rebound. And the second effort here for NC State. Smith will launch and buries another triple.
And when you're in pick and roll defense guarding Jaquavion Smith, for that time Rodney Howard, you have to be up, taking away any opportunity that he has to even see the rim, because clearly all he needs to do is be able to see it. Maybe sometimes he can't even see it, Obi. He knows where it is.
Score is score. He's 4 for 5 from 3. In the previous 2 games, he was 4 out of 18. So tonight, lighting it up. DeVoe with another miss. Kind of a chilly first half for the Yellow Jacket star.
And Howard still too far back.
Smith working on him and draws the foul as he hits the deck. And Smith will go to the line. Back to his last triple.
When he comes off of a screen and roll, you have to take away Jaquavion Smith's airspace. You see Howard just playing back. That is shooting fish in a barrel for Jaquavion Smith. You're talking about a young man that has now made 77 three-pointers in his freshman season. And you look at his numbers and what he's done over the last 2 games. But again, as you mentioned, score. He hasn't thought anything about those numbers. He's just thinking about tonight.
That's one of the things that Coach Keats was talking about before the game. He said, I love the fact he has such a short memory. If he has a cold night, that doesn't mean he's going to have one 2 nights from now.
Well, I tell you this, honestly, Jaquavion probably doesn't even think he had a cold night. That's right. How short that memory is. And he's also done other things. 7 rebounds, 6 assists last time out. So not just the scoring, becoming more of a complete player.
He's done it against good competition, too, at 34 against North Carolina.
And I had him the game before that where he only made 1 field goal at Notre Dame. And you knew he was going to come back and respond after that one and went off in Chapel Hill.
35-16, impressive first half of the Wolfpack. DeVoe with the basket to cut it to 35-18.
Another example of the great cutting that Josh Pastner asked for, and oftentimes with the Princeton offense, you're going to get those backdoor looks.
Hayes with 2. He's had a nice first half, came in averaging 7 points a game. He's been a big factor here.
And teams usually struggle to score against Georgia Tech. That's their calling card. They've been one of the best defensive teams throughout the ACC this season, and really since Josh Pastner's been here, but it has been no problem at all for the Wolfpack tonight.
Sturdivant too long. Loose ball, Smith controls. Quickly down the lane for the slam. He just blew right by everybody and elevated. He's had a great first half.
He has had an unbelievable first half, and everyone tuning in, getting a great opportunity to watch the Jaquavion Smith show. We talked about what he did at Chapel Hill. Well, he's on pace now to eclipse that. Jaquavion at this point right now, Obi, the way scorers think with 18 points already, still 5 minutes remaining, and when you're going to the rim and taking off, dunking on people in transition, he's thinking this is a 40-point night.
So how do you defend a guy like this who is in your face with the flying dunks and then he's stepping back from 25 feet?
2 words. Maybe make it 3. You can't or you cannot. However you figure it, it's not happening. There's no guarding him, especially when he's got it going like this tonight.
Well, the true freshman out of Greenville, North Carolina, on fire. We mentioned he was on pace to break the school record for a freshman hitting threes. The record is 81. You didn't really think he'd get it tonight, because he came in with 73. He might have it by the end of the half.
It's a strong possibility, and he does not look as though he's going to slow down at all. But more importantly, look at him picking up 94 feet, getting the job done defensively. And that's one of the reasons why Kevin Keats loves him. He's not a guy that's only going out looking for his numbers. He's trying to win. They haven't come up with many of those thus far this year, but in great position here tonight.
They say, 2 teams that are really struggling to win. NC State's 10-16, the Yellow Jackets 10-14. What is there to watch? And then Smith shows up, and he's doing everything on the basketball floor that makes you love the game.
Well, and he's got us not even talking about the best player for NC State, who is Darion Sebron. When you think about a first-team All-ACC caliber guy who gets it done in every facet of the game, but Jaquavion Smith is just taking over as of late.
Sturdivant denied, shot clock down to 3, deep in the corner, and a shot clock violation. Tough D by the Wolfpack. 39-18. Smith against the Yellow Jackets has been a one-man band, 18.6 out of 8. And as a team, 18 points for Georgia Tech, as many as Smith has by himself.
And Obi, as excited as Kevin Keats is about the way that NC State has played on the offensive end of the floor, his favorite possession of the game was the last one, getting the shot clock violation against Georgia Tech.
Backdoor cut and a slam by Sebron. So it's all clicking for NC State tonight here in Atlanta.
Smith drawing so much attention. The beautiful find. No one even thinks about Sebron cutting back door.
It'll be a kick ball with 4:03 remaining in the half. Sebron came in 18 points, 9 rebounds a game. Smith 15 points per game. He already has 18. He's made 4 of 5 from three-point land. And the Yellow Jackets have not had an answer for Smith.
And of course, when we're here at McCamish Pavillion, we sit right beside the visitors bench. And I tell you right now, there's a lot of energy on this North Carolina State bench as Jordan Usher gets the bucket. But right now, again, you would not expect this to be a 3-12 team when you look at NC State and their bench right now. They're coaching and playing as though they're playing for something much bigger than they win here tonight.
Again, attempting to snap a 6-game skid. Back out high for Hayes, who's made some threes. Kind of line drive that one. It pops up. Corralled by Gibson, taken away from him. And on the other end, a quick theft here for the Wolfpack. Hayes right to the paint and gets 2 more. Well, he's been impressive in this half.
He has been great here in this first half. 12 points already in the half for Cam Hayes. You've got 2 guys combining for 30 for NC State, while Georgia Tech only has 20.
(43-20) the Wolfpack. Sebron to work and draws the foul. Darian Sebron will be at the line. The 6'7" sophomore when we come back. 43-20. Now we see our Bojangles Big Bowl moment for tonight's game.
Our Big Bowl moment has been Terquavion Smith altogether, but he did provide us a tremendous highlight getting out in transition, and for the second big dunk of the night for the freshman getting to the rim. And Smith, although he is a right-handed shooter, is a dunker with his left hand. And of course that left hand is heavily taped, bandaged up, but he is not taking it easy on the rim here tonight either.
No, that's for sure. 18 points. He also has 7 rebounds and 3 assists.
Yeah, he's been doing much more than scoring as of late, but now he's just putting it all together and really working his inner Darian Sebron, going out there and right now leading the team in all different categories, getting it done in every facet on the floor.
Sebron with 39 points in their epic 4 overtime victory over Nebraska early in the season. That was back in December.
Yeah, I did that game. He would not let me go to bed. I was trying my best to go to sleep after that one, Obi, and Darian Sebron just kept getting us into another overtime after another overtime.
NC State dominating in every phase in this one in the paint and on the perimeter, and a whistle. 2:41 left in the first half, and Smith will pick up a foul there, his second. Terquavion, freshman, averaging 15 points a game. He's already eclipsed that easily, and he's going to step out for a moment.
See, Obi, that's the freshman mistake. You're playing so great. You got 18 points, and you go mess around playing defense and get a foul. You see what I mean? That's why I didn't play a lot of defense. Didn't want to put myself on the bench.
That was the reason why.
That was it. But you see DeVoe getting right to the rim. Smith has done a very good job defending DeVoe throughout this game, and just like that, with Smith going to the bench, DeVoe gets a run right to the paint.
DeVoe with 3 30-point games this season, averaging 19 a contest, along with 5 rebounds. Also a very good passer. Frankly, does everything well for the Yellow Jackets. They just need about 2 or 3 more just like it.
Yeah, that's the one issue they've had this year, is finding that third scorer.
Off the top of the backboard, never got to that rim, and a violation with 1:57 left in the first half. Kevin Keats has to be delighted with just about every phase here in the first 20 minutes for his team.
But I love the energy that Kevin Keats and his staff have approached this game. Not as though they're 3-12, but simply about each game is most important. And again, they're playing without a huge piece. They have all season long. You know, Kevin Keats and I talked earlier about, you know, it's one thing, everyone's dealing with injuries, but a lot of it has to do with who that injured player is. And again, no one more valuable than Manny Bates, simply because of what they do defensively. NC State likes to get up, play you, pressure you, and force guys to take the ball to the rim into the best shot blocker in the ACC, which they don't have right now. Had to change everything.
One of the very best in the country. I mean, how can you not, night after night in this conference, without him in the middle, be thinking about, well, they never even would have tried that shot. Another one from the corner, and that's going to be drilled in by Helms. They have been outstanding beyond that three-point line.
And people will watch and say, well, if you can do this against Georgia Tech, why can't you do it all the time? Georgia Tech does not have a post presence, so you don't miss Manny Bates as much in a game like this. But Michael DeVoe lines up a three, knocks it down.
DeVoe can do that too, 39% out there.
But there are very few teams in the ACC that don't put pressure on you in the post.
Knocked away, picked off by the Yellow Jackets. NC State, a team that does not turn it over very much, just about 10 per game. Moving the ball very well and finding that open three-point guy.
Well, and Josh Pastner going back to the zone. And Thomas Allen with a beautiful find in the corner. Jericho Helms knocking down another three. And Michael DeVoe, who's started to score a little bit as of late. But Georgia Tech going to need much more of that from their leading scorer to try to get back into this game.
Sebron, strong, and drops it in. And a foul on the play. Well, his highlight so far in the first half.
Well, I don't care if you play in gaps, if you play a pack line, it doesn't matter what you do defensively. It is virtually impossible to keep Darion Sebron away from the basket. When he decides he wants to attack, he's going to get there, and there's nothing you can do about it. The dangerous part is when you have guys who can shoot the basketball and are on from outside, it makes them even more dangerous because he gets downhill. He's a willing passer and finds his guys.
He had the 39 against Nebraska, but 32 against FSU, at 27 against Clemson. Also had 19 rebounds against Nebraska, as you recall.
Yeah, you talk about one of three players in Power Conference leading their team in scoring, rebounding, assists, and steals. So one of the most versatile players in college basketball.
Usher lets fly, but not there for him. Final seconds of what has been an outstanding first half of the Wolfpack. Very forgettable for the Yellow Jackets, of course, on their home floor. And a timeout as Kevin Keats wants to drop a play here with 25.2 to go and 23 on the shot clock. Coming up on Thursday night at 8, ACC women's basketball. That features number 19 Notre Dame, number 16 Georgia Tech, right here in Atlanta. Both teams 10-4 in the ACC and tied for fourth place. Join us here on the ACC Network and the ESPN app.
6 women's teams ranked in the top 25 in the ACC. ACC, once again, women's basketball, the best conference in the country. And it's going to get interesting going down the stretch. Of course, my big cousin, Kenny Brooks at Virginia Tech, making a run here. They've got into the rankings this past week after 2 big wins over Georgia Tech and over North Carolina. So women's ACC basketball doing opposite of what the men are doing. Only 1 ranked team on the men's side, but 6 on the women's side.
And of course, you're the best in the business at getting in an effective plug. Nobody better.
You know what? That really wasn't one, though, because, you know, Kenny's my cousin, like a brother. And I shouldn't give him shout-outs. So I'm taking it back. No, again, when I tell people I know the Notorious D.O.B., that's a plug.
That's a plug.
That's a plug.
For something. 17 before the break. 51-25 NC State with the basketball. And Sebron to get things going here, the 6'7" sophomore. Hayes to the baseline, airborne. Howard with good defense there. And with a couple of seconds left, a block shot. And out off the Wolfpack, so opportunity for a heave here for Georgia Tech. They put 2/10 back on, 2.2. Usher with a long one. Howard gives it up, and at the buzzer they can't get it to go. They ran a fine play, but unable to make it. Smith and Hayes have certainly been the first half story for NC State.
Well, we talked about the backcourt of NC State and finding that fourth scorer. They've got a strong trio, and Cam Hayes has gotten into the mix in this one. He and Taquavion Smith have been unstoppable here in this first half.
And so NC State rolling to a big lead at halftime. 51-25 here in Atlanta. NC State trying to snap a 6-game skid. They're in excellent shape right now. Halftime coming your way next.
Welcome into this ACC Network Halftime Report. Kelsey Riggs with you. Packer and Durham with you every weekday morning from 7 to 10 a.m. Make sure you tune in to get the latest reaction from what's going on around the league. And hope you got to catch episodes 3 and 4 of the tournament last night. Really has been a great series so far. And NC State fans will definitely recognize our next guest. And now we welcome in the MVP of the 1974 ACC tournament, Tom Burleson, with us now. Tom, great to see you and chat with you. We're excited to have you here. We've heard it's been referred to as one of the greatest college basketball games of all time. You guys take down Maryland. What do you remember the most about that game?
Well, it was really an interesting game in that, of course, we went undefeated 2 years in a row in regular season play. And the game in Maryland, David had 41. And then in Raleigh, he had 39. So David was only averaging 40 points a game against them. And they decided to double team David. And Lynn Elmore said he could stop me, which I'm 7'2". I have a 7'6" wingspan. I have a drop step. I had really good coaching early. I mean, and I probably shouldn't say this, but Michael Jordan said I played some exhibition with him, and he said I could handle the ball better than any 7-footer he ever saw.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, Tom, this is Joel Berry. I'm sitting up here with 2 national champions, including myself. And, you know, we all have those special moments from our celebration. I just want to know, as you look back, what was your celebration like when you guys won?
Well, with the national championship?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
It didn't stop for like a long time. I mean, it was like from one pig picking to another pig picking, from another party to another party. I mean, it's when we won the ACC tournament, Coach Sloan was really good in that we didn't celebrate. We played UCLA, and we were the underdogs, being ranked number 1, and I was always able to play Walton heads up. I feel Walton was one of the best passing centers of his era, of our era. But then again, David Thompson was our number 1 look, and I was the number 2 look. So I only got about 20 shots a game, which I could live with 20 shots a game. But I was second in assists my sophomore, junior, and senior year at NC State. So I could pass the ball also, and then we're not going to mention that I made the Olympic team and stuff like that. So we won't do that. Okay, never mind.
Well, that's a good transition. Mr. Burleson, I could ask you 100 questions. Obviously, I went to your camp a long, long time ago, and I tell this story all the time about Luke Skywalker being because of David Skywalker Thompson, not because I'm a big Star Wars fan or anything. But I guess I'll go off the Olympics there. What was it like to be a college kid and go play in the Olympics? Or what's a great memory you have from that experience?
These memories were awesome. I mean, to be a part of the United States Olympic team, I went out there. I trained in Avery County, up there in high elevations, and of course, Barry Parkhill and I shared the scoring title my sophomore year, and of course, I was the leading rebounder at 14.5 in the ACC, and so I went to Colorado Springs, which is, the mile high up there, and caught everybody by surprise. And I ran rings around everybody because my body was already acclimated to that type of elevation. I got to meet just so many great people. And it was, there was a whole lot of controversy that went on during that Olympics between, the NCAA wanted Dean Smith and the AAU, when they had a lot of power back then, wanted John Wooden, and of course that's why Bill Walton didn't come out for the team. He'd been on the Pan Am game, so there's a lot of things going on there. It was just, to me, a tremendous honor to represent our United States.
Man, I am sure, Mr. Burleson, we could talk to you all day. So many great stories. We really appreciate your time, and we're looking forward to seeing more of the tournament and what you were able to do in that right here on ACC Network. Thank you for the time.
Well, thank you. And I'll be with Skywalker tonight, Luke. And, those are some great games. Thank you very much, and God bless everybody.
Awesome. Thank you. And you can catch the next 2 episodes of the tournament Monday. It's every Monday. New one's coming out. And catch us here on Nothing But Net every Thursday with the women's crew, Saturday with the men's crew, breaking down all the latest on what's going on in the league and getting you set as we count down just a few weeks left in the regular season.
A reminder to fans to download the ACC three-point challenge app presented by New York Life to help benefit the local boys and girls clubs. Score points for your school. And after the tournament, the local boys and girls clubs will receive a donation from New York Life based on their affiliated ACC team's final ranking. Beautiful night in Atlanta. Not such a great night for the Yellow Jackets of Georgia Tech. NC State piling up 51. They're 8 for 14 from 3. Dave O'Brien and Corey Alexander with you. Jaquavion Smith has been the star.
He really has. Jaquavion Smith stepping up, knocking down 3 after 3, 4 from 5, but also 2 highlight dunks, getting out in transition. But he hasn't been alone. Cam Hayes has gotten in on the action. 12 points for Hayes here in the first half as Cam continues to come off the bench and giving the Wolfpack a significant spark.
And how about halftime, America's oldest daredevil putting on a show here in Atlanta, 51-25, NC State. Welcome back to ACC Network Basketball presented by Geico. Obviously a whole lot of highlights there that had the NC State Wolfpack. 51-25, that's their biggest lead against anybody all season long at any point in the game. Dave O'Brien and Corey Alexander, a couple of really impressive performances by the Pack.
It really was, and if you're the Wolfpack, you want to cut that first half and make sure you go out and do it again. Maybe not in this game, you'll use it for another time, but Kevin Keats has to be excited about what they did on the court in that first half and continuing that effort, especially Jaquavion Smith, Cam Hayes getting the job done offensively.
NC State looking to snap a 6-game skid. Got to like their chances right now. Picking up their 11th win of the season. They are in the basement of the ACC, but they haven't looked like that. Well, we have a net situation before we can get started, so they're going to work on that before we bring you the final 20 minutes of this one in Atlanta, Georgia.
It would be easy to say if NC State was going that direction early, they burned up the net, but that was actually Georgia Tech's end. So we're not sure what the reasoning is for the problem because they struggled from the field in the first half, 35.7% from the field and only 1 for 10 from 3.
Pat Driscoll, one of the officials, keeping close eye on the handiwork. So a slight delay. And while we wait, Monday night you can tune in for episodes 5 and 6 of the tournament. A history of ACC men's basketball. You'll see the years 1975 to 1983. 83, some year, Monday night, 9 and 10 p.m. Eastern. You can watch past episodes as well on the ESPN app. Of course, 1983, a glory year for NC State. They won the ACC tournament en route to winning the national championship.
And knocked off the Virginia Cavaliers along the way, ending the career, ACC career of Ralph Sampson, 3-time National Player of the Year. And I did get an opportunity to check out the first episode, saw bits and pieces of that, going back and just seeing the cars and the environment, the building, of course, playing in the ACC tournament back when it was played at Reynolds Coliseum and everything that was involved. NC State, of course, very influential in the early ACC tournaments. As many championships for the Wolfpack back in the day, and right now they're playing like a team that if they can get hot, they could go out and win an ACC tournament right now.
Shoot the ball like this.
Absolutely. You give them a chance. Whenever you got guards playing this well, you give them a chance in March.
Remembering that 1983 ACC champion, they had to win the tournament to go to the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, that's what many people don't realize about the 1983 team in NC State, coached by Jim Valvano. That team did not have a great regular season. And so now you're talking about a group that has to go and play well, get hot, get into the tournament, they win it, and then, of course, a spectacular 6-game run throughout ending in what Derek Wittenberg likes to continue to say was a pass, but we all know it was a shot.
Right. Astonishing run. Never seen anything quite like that in one tournament, or one coach, such a maestro in a tournament, quite like that. There's several games along the way that they probably should have lost. So Georgia Tech opens up the second half finally with the basketball and trailing 51-25. The Wolfpack shot almost 60% in the first half, and a whistle and a foul on Morsell.
His first team foul.
Going to be short. Rebound fought for. Battle for that. Right back to Usher. Inside Howard. And tips his own miss, but they're going to wave that off. Basket interference.
And Howard just a little anxious on that one, recognizing it coming off and wanted to tip that basketball back in. I thought he had a chance of it actually staying in. It looks as though it was going in that direction without his help, but no 2 points on that one.
I think you're right. Had he left it alone, he's got a bucket. Here's Smith. And it's exactly how the first half started for Smith.
That's what one thing you can't do. You can't leave him alone, especially on the perimeter right now or anywhere on the floor. Once he steps across half court, he's in range. And a hot start once again in the second half for Taquavion Smith.
Yeah, he has 21, his ninth career 20-point game already for the freshman. Usher trying to penetrate, slashing in. And here comes the Wolfpack again. Oh, it's a nice pass for Helms, but it's going to be an offensive foul. So that goes against the Wolfpack, but back to Smith.
The zone struggled in the first half to identify where Taquavion Smith was at times. And again, Michael DeVoe with a long run trying to get back to Smith with the hot hand. You got to find someone to stay a little closer to Smith and recognize where he is on the floor at all times.
Michael DeVoe, the senior, came in with nearly 1,600 career points at Georgia Tech.
But DeVoe is a four-year senior.
Howard with the slam.
And so there's a possibility that we could see DeVoe back in a Georgia Tech uniform next year, using and taking advantage of that COVID year, and of course would definitely be one of the better players in the ACC next year as he has been this season.
Yep, 19 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists per game this year. And the ability to do that, swinging the pass in and a foul as well. Khalid Moore able to convert.
And Michael DeVoe getting out, and he attracts so much attention because of his ability to score, but a very good passer, finding Khalid Moore with an opportunity at the rim for the three-point play.
Moore 73% at the line. No three-point play, though. Well, a couple of minutes into the second half here in Atlanta.
And just like that, Georgia Tech back into man-to-man, but you've got to recognize where this guy is at all times. Jordan Usher, one of the better defenders in the ACC, getting hit with the screen, and that's more than enough room to get the job done for Taquavion Smith.
Drains another three. Sturdivant too strong with that. Smith with a career high and three-pointers made. Morsell to drive it. Nice adjustment there, and he lays in two.
And a nice play by Casey Morsell. But of course, if I'm Taquavion Smith on that possession, you've hit two already, you got to pull up. That's a heat check waiting to happen.
Well, right now he can't miss. 59-29. Usher fires out with 9 on the shot clock. Sturdivant will hit that one. Now Sturdivant, 6'2" junior. And like teammate Jordan Usher, he began his college career in Southern California at USC. Off the fake, Helms. And short.
Show me something, Jordan.
Usher. very simply for 2.
Oh, and I understand it. He's down big. You don't want to really put the focus on the dunk, trying to show out, just get the short 2 points. But one of my favorite athletes in the league, I was looking forward to a little showtime on that one. He did the right thing, though.
Morcell, that's a pretty shot. And showing off some outstanding strength, too, 61-34.
And NC State's got a lot of help. Casey Morcell playing well. Of course, Cam Hayes coming off the bench, taking the pressure off of Sebron, who hasn't had to do as much offensively in this game, especially when you consider what Smith has done.
Usher with a fall away, but well short, and rebounded away by Sebron, who comes in 9 rebounds per game, and a tangle and a foul as they try and slow down Smith, who's been unstoppable.
My guy, Jordan Usher, I'm a huge fan, gets out in transition, and he just keeps it simple, Obi. Nothing for me to yell about. Our fan on the left, just like me, is a Usher fan. Of course, Usher Raymond, a little different than Jordan Usher. I'm sure he's a Jordan Usher fan, too. And I'm sure he was disappointed, as I was, of seeing Jordan Usher get out on the break and just give us the simple dunk, the lay-in. But, of course, when you wear a Usher T-shirt to a game, you have to be rooting for Jordan Usher.
I don't think there's any question about that. And I'm like you. I was shocked that he didn't really do something with it, but the score makes the difference, right?
And that shows basketball IQ, intelligence by Jordan Usher, which is part of the reason I love him so much.
Sebron on a drive will take the hit. NC State has made 61% of their field goal attempts in this one. That's a season high, at least to the moment. Sebron makes 71%. Will shoot here. Top 5 in the ACC in scoring coming in. There are a few stats that he doesn't lead NC State in. Wednesday night on ACC Network. More men's college basketball coming your way. North Carolina hosting Pitt at the Dean Dome. 8 p.m. Eastern right here on ACC Network and the ESPN app. Carolina now 18-7 overall. They're in the tournament right now, Joe Lunardi says. And look great on Saturday against FSU at home.
A couple of tough tests coming up for the Tar Heels, especially this weekend. Going into Blacksburg, Castle Coliseum, where Virginia Tech came up with a big win last night over Virginia to get themselves right back into the tournament conversation as well.
How did they look to you?
They looked great, and because they were able to do it without Hunter Couture having the type of shooting night that we've seen him get off to. And they didn't make a bunch of threes, but Keve Aluma has been a thorn in the side of the Cavaliers ever since he started playing against them. It was a huge thorn last night.
Sturdivant on the drive and denied, but also a whistle on the play, and Kevin Keats can't believe that call. Georgia Tech with a man down. Sturdivant hitting the deck.
Well, Kevin Keats got a great view of that one, and had more to do, I believe, the call with the fall, because you see there's a lot of basketball on the block by Smith, and with Sturdivant's momentum carrying him to the basket, you look, Smith gets all basketball on that possession. Dewana does come over and get him with the body. I'm not sure who that foul was given to, but I can see if it's given to Dewana on that one. But if that's Smith, that was a clean block.
That one is actually going to go against Smith. And number 4.
And yeah, that was clean on his part. If you give that foul out, that's one where, and again, Smith has done everything. The only thing that's been able to stop him in this game is foul trouble, but that was a clean defensive play on his behalf. And he did react initially, but Kevin Keats has been talking to his players about not reacting with the officials, playing through calls, whether they go their direction or not. And you see Smith just walking away from it and just coming over and celebrating with his team on the bench.
Well, he's had an outstanding night. 24 points, 6 out of 7 from the three-point line. He's going to have to watch for a while now with the 4 fouls. NC State looking for another score. Sebron, of course, can be that guy. Way downtown, Helms can't get it to go. Sturdivant in transition. Won't shoot it. DeVoe, a little bit of contact, nice spin, scoops it up and in.
That's nice. Michael DeVoe going to the offhand, the left-handed shooter going to his right hand and getting it high off the glass above the shot blocker, Dewana coming over.
They need him to get rolling. 61-38. And a whistle off the basketball.
Nice play by Michael DeVoe, attacking the middle and then using his spin move to get around Cam Hayes and recognizing the shot blocker coming over, the soft touch off the glass. And if you're Josh Pastner right now, you probably have to be considering going back to the zone. With Smith on the bench, you may be able to get away with the zone for a while with the zone buster sitting down.
Helms can't hit. DeVoe, by the way, 15 points, so he's come alive offensively. Going one-on-one here with Sebron. Into the lane. The kick out for Coleman, and he drains the triple. He's very good out there, 45%.
And that's DeVoe Coleman's game. He is a knockdown shooter, missed too badly in the first half, and now we see Georgia Tech starting to find some momentum. And Smith on the bench with 4 fouls. We may not see him for a while in the second half.
Little 12-2 run here for the Yellow Jackets. Best they've looked, as you mentioned, in a long time. Helens flips it up there, kind of a wild shot, but a wild foul as well there with 7 on the shot clock. And a foul on Howard. Back to that nifty pass moments ago.
Well, Michael DeVoe being aggressive, trying to call his own number, but NC State's defense up to the task. But when so many guys are focused on one, they forget about another. DeVoe Coleman, as you mentioned, shooting 45% from 3, getting a great look at knocking down his first one of the evening.
Helms very good at the line, 84%, drains the first. Back in December, he surpassed the 1,000 career point mark, the 55th player in NC State history to do that. Coleman gives it up. DeVoe to the paint again. Trying to make another move and a follow-up. That's good by Howard.
But that's where Georgia Tech needs DeVoe to live, in the painted area, because he draws so much attention. Even if he misses a shot, his 2 defenders dealing with him, it gives other players the opportunity to get the easy putback.
Georgia Tech 7 out of 14 shooting without a turnover here in the second half. Much cleaner.
Yeah, turnovers did them in the first half as Helms knocks down the corner 3 to stop the slide for NC State. And right now, that has been the weapon for the Wolfpack here tonight.
66-43, the Pack. Earlier tonight, Wake Forest and Duke. Duke had piled up a 17-point lead. Wake came back and tied it in this dunk with 1 second to go by Williams. They had to take a look at this. They went to the monitor, and yes, they counted it. Duke in a heart stopper, 76-74 over Wake Forest.
Big win for the Blue Devils, who blew out Wake Forest at Lawrence Joel Coliseum earlier this year. Wake Forest mounting that comeback, making it interesting. First look, I thought that was a goaltending as well.
Yeah. But they went to the monitor and it holds up, and Duke pulls it out. Meanwhile, Georgia Tech trying to cut into this lead, 66-43.
Georgia Tech trying to mount another one of those comebacks, similar to what Wake Forest was able to do, and see if they can come away with the win here on their home floor. But the way NC State shot the basketball, they're not giving them much opportunity.
Well, another good follow there. Nice tip by Rodney Howard.
There's another one of those plays, though, when you play against a shot blocker for DeVoe, even though he doesn't get that bucket, as long as he gets it above the hand of the shot blocker, it gives Howard an easy opportunity. No one else for NC State coming in to keep Howard off the glass.
Quavion Smith, who's had a great night for the Wolfpack, on the bench right now with 4 fouls, unable to help. Georgia Tech crashing the glass. That'll go the other way. It's Yellow Jackets basketball. 11.5 to go. 66-45 NC State. 66-45 NC State. Little Joe Lunardi bracketology. Duke a number 2 seed. Notre Dame and Miami 9s. He's got Wake And North Carolina is 10 seeds.
And Virginia Tech on the next 4 out after a win over Virginia last night. They creep back into the conversation. Virginia below that, but right now 5 teams. But one of the concerns is when you start to look at Wake Forest's resume overall, and then not taking advantage of that opportunity and to come back against Duke tonight. I'm wondering how surefire Wake Forest is in that mix.
Heartbreaker of a loss to come all the way back like that on the road at Cameron Indoor. Long jumper on the way. Georgia Tech has not hit a ton of those. Been a different story for the Wolfpack. They've been outstanding beyond the 3-point line.
And a good look for Debo Coleman, a very good shooter, just unable to knock it down. We saw him with a couple of long misses in the first half. Knocked one down here in the second half, but that would have been a big bucket there to go a long way to get this lead under 20.
Allen pulls up, can't hit it. Gibson with a dribble down, right back up, strong. That was in the cylinder and kicked out. 45 to go, and it'll be Georgia Tech ball. Yellow Jackets preseason picked to finish 10th in the ACC. They lose tonight, they drop to 3-11 in the conference. Quick hands there by Allen. Allen tiptoeing in, can't finish it. Moore with the rebound. Thomas Allen, the senior out of Raleigh, North Carolina, with a miss and a whistle with 10:25 showing. Helms will pick up the foul. That'll be number 2 on Helms. And Sturdivant to the line to shoot a couple.
Sturdivant at the line, shooting 2.
So 2 for the junior from Norcross, Georgia. And every week you can get not 1 but 2 editions of Nothing But Net. Thursday night, 10 p.m. All the highlights and analysis from every women's game. And then Saturday night at 9, get the same wall-to-wall coverage from the men's games. Nothing But Net right here on ACC Network. NC State cooling off a little bit finally. They've missed 7 of their last 8.
Go back and remember, they're playing right now without Taquavion Smith, who has been the hot guy for them this evening. A turnover by Sebron, really, who got caught in the air thinking he should shoot it. And it ends up being a 4-point swing in favor of Georgia Tech.
And Khalid Moore with the basket in the end. Very well-run break, their best one of the night. Hayes, a big factor in the first half when they built up their largest halftime lead of the season. He'll drive it and score it.
It's a smart play by Cam Hayes, not relying on the 3, even though he's been hot from beyond the arc, but recognizing Rodney Howard in front of him. No way he could keep him out of the painted area. And once he got past Howard, there was no help at the rim.
Sturdivant pounding that dribble, and that didn't touch a thing.
I'm not sure if that's the shot you want for Georgia Tech, and again, Sturdivant has been aggressive attacking the rim, but oftentimes defying his teammates.
Too strong by Morsell with the triple. DeVoe will launch. Can't hit that one. Both sides have gone very cold, except for that man. Rodney Howard in close, the high percentage shots dropping.
And a great play by Howard, really to tap the basketball to himself, put himself in scoring position, as Kevin Keats has seen enough, and it's time for Taquavion Smith to re-enter the basketball game.
Yeah, lead cut to 17. Hayes, too strong, one and done, back over to the Yellow Jackets.
And right now, if you're Georgia Tech and you get this to 15 or even 14 on this possession, you've got to be feeling good about where you are with over 8 minutes remaining.
Kyle Sturdivant with a shot clock down to 6. Got a good look. It wouldn't drop for him. Sebron there for the rebound, averaging 9 boards per game. From the corner, off target, by Helms. Marcel will keep it alive for a second chance. Sebron fouled by Howard. Kerryon Sebron will be at the line when we come back. Under 8, 68-51, the Pack. The 6'10 junior Rodney Howard continues to play hard. 14 points, it's a career high for him.
And Howard's done a great job on the offensive glass. 5 offensive rebounds for him. The majority of that coming in this second half. As you see Michael DeVoe attacking the basket and, of course, avoiding the shot blocker. Rodney Howard has been Johnny on the spot. And you see Howard working his way into the glass, tapping it to himself for the finish. And once again, just up around the glass when he sees his teammate attacking the rim, unable to finish, but the shot blocker out of the picture, not able to keep him off the glass.
Someone's using those tip drills to great effect. He also has 9 rebounds and looking for his second career double-double. Sebron with a miss at the line. As you mentioned, Smith back into the ball game now for Kevin Keats. He has had a night, but he's been on the bench the last several minutes in foul trouble of 4.
Yeah, and with the 18-point lead, Keats does not want this thing to slip away. His games against Georgia Tech through his 4 previous seasons at NC State have all come down to the wire. And, of course, he does not want to see any part of that after having such a huge lead in this game tonight.
Now he's 0-4 against them, so trying to end that tonight here on the road in Atlanta. Sturdivant spinning into the paint. On the bounce speed. And a tie-up and a nice defensive stop there by the Wolfpack and by Duana. And they're going to win the basketball back.
And the great cut there, but even better hands by Duana is Khalid Moore, the back cut. But Duana getting that hand on the basketball, normally blocking shots above the rim. That time tying it up, getting possession back for the Wolfpack.
6'11 sophomore from Ghana. Smith will launch. Rare miss for him. Sebron. And a foul against Georgia Tech with 7:15 to go. That'll go against Coleman. Well, Thursday night, 8 p.m., ACC women's basketball. Featuring number 19 Notre Dame and number 16 Georgia Tech. That's right back here in Atlanta. Notre Dame getting 74 points per game, number 3 in the ACC. Georgia Tech really tough defensively. On the drive, and that's going to be goaltending on Howard. So count that basket. Smith will get credit for that, 71-51.
Quavion Smith picking up where he left off before he had to take that extended break on the bench. Back to attacking the rim and kind of settled on the last possession, taking a 3 with Howard in front of, that time getting back downhill, getting a bucket.
Smith with 26 points, certainly been the brightest start tonight for NC State. Pass zip to DeVoe, could not finish it. Now blocked from behind by Duana. It goes out of play off the Wolfpack.
And Josh Pastner's seen a lot of that here. Just easily point-blank layups missed. You're talking about one of the best scorers in the ACC, and Michael DeVoe just missing an easy layup. And just a frustrating night for Coach Pastner, especially on the offensive end of the floor.
DeVoe fires. Yes, he'll drop in a 3-pointer.
And that gamble, trying to steal the inbounds pass, leaving Michael DeVoe wide open. So even though he missed the layup, he gets even more of a knocking down the 3.
Well, the lead for NC State has been as high as 30 tonight. They were up 51-25 at halftime. And they were running away. Sebron airborne pass to one up. Oh, good defense there by DeVoe. He got his fingertips on it. Another slick pass in traffic. It won't drop though for Howard.
Another one of those opportunities right at the rim. Georgia Tech unable to take advantage of.
So under 6 minutes to go here in Atlanta. NC State, by the way, without a field goal in the last 3 minutes and 40 seconds. Usually they've been calling on Smith when that happens tonight, the rare occasion it has. Helms. Flipped up by Smith, that won't drop. Usher drives it. Both sides having a difficult time making lay-ins.
Another area where NC State has been great in this game is on the offensive boards. They've done a great job on the offensive glass, and although they have gone, toe-to-toe with Georgia Tech in this one, this is not something that NC State's known for.
Hayes with a three, no, but they're going to get another crack at it. Smith with a high rebound.
And that's frustrating because you're spending so much time on the defensive end of the floor, and then when you go down for Georgia Tech and you're not getting quality looks at one end, that's deflating in your comeback.
Can suck the energy right out of you. Smith, and deflected by Georgia Tech with 4 on the shot clock.
Wolfpack substitution number 5.
Thomas Allen back on for the Wolfpack.
And Jaquavion Smith being coached up by James Johnson. Kevin Keats not exactly happy with whatever happened on the floor, but it's a great time to get him out with those 4 fouls to make sure he doesn't pick up one here before the media timeout.
It'll be another foul away from the shot. This will go against the Yellow Jackets, who are exhausted.
But I love this. Even though Jaquavion Smith has been an absolute star tonight, Kevin Keats, James Johnson coaching him up right now, getting opportunity to talk to him. And again, you can see this young man very coachable. It's nothing irate. He's just having a conversation with Coach Keats, and the two of them together kind of agreeing on whatever the issue was. But also Coach Keats recognizing the importance of this young player and the teachable moments that you have to take advantage of them when you can.
So Helms with another one coming. Very good foul shooter. 84%. Howard had just picked up his 4th foul. And the lead back up to 19. And a timeout. So 4:44 showing. NC State comfortable again, 73-54. We're talking about the freshman Smith out of Greenville, North Carolina, who's just been brilliant tonight for stretches. A little bit of foul trouble that cost him some time. Otherwise might have been on his way to a 40-point
Yeah,
night.
the only thing that has slowed him down is foul trouble. Getting out in transition, showing off the left-hand dunk, and of course his biggest weapon, the 3 with a fortunate bounce. But he doesn't need fortunate bounces. This young man can get it done, fills it up in so many different facets. Not just a scorer anymore, though, starting to become more of a playmaker for himself and his teammates. And when you consider Jaquavion Smith in the night that he's had, he has been a star of stars here.
18 points in the first half. He has 6 in the second half. And the biggest reason the Wolfpack have been very relaxed most of the night after building a big first half advantage. And again, their biggest lead against anybody all season long to that point was what they had at the break, a 26-point lead. He has 24 himself, along with 8 rebounds.
Obi, and I know that our stats people are correct. The official stats, I think, are wrong. Because we saw Smith, he had 18 points in the first half. We watched him knock down 2 threes, and then when he came back in, he got a layup. He should have 26 points in this game. I'm wondering who they gave that bucket to. But right now, and again, the official score says that he's sitting with 24, but he's actually scored 8 points here in the second half.
Well, we're looking at it again, and they have put up 26 now for Smith officially, so you're correct.
Hey, that's the first time this year. My first time in 2022. I've been right.
4:44 to go. And nothing could be further from the truth.
And that's not a shot at my graphics guys, of course, because the official score said 24 points.
They did, yep.
Yeah. My guy Robert Ringer back in the truck, of course, doing a great job for us. Changes up all my graphics on the fly.
Pull-up pop Sturdivant. That didn't touch a thing. We've seen a lot of those tonight.
It really has. And Sturdivant has tried to be aggressive, especially in the second half, creating plays, but they haven't always worked out in the favor for Georgia Tech.
Yellow Jackets looking for a magical run here down the stretch, but it won't happen with shots like that. Another misfire. Georgia Tech, a team that has scuffled to score all season long. 73-54, the Wolfpack, under 4. Sebron gives it up. Has it back beyond the 3. He's going to take it.
That's the one area for Darion Sebron. He doesn't shoot a lot of threes. That's not his strength.
Oof, that almost went in on the defensive breakup of the play.
That might have been pass interference.
Well, Georgia Tech has missed 9 of their last 10 shots, Corey, and any chance that they had, they need to do a lot better than that at that stretch of the game.
Yeah, I believe the air has gone out of their balloon, and of course they got a number of great looks here late in the second half to try to cut into that lead, just unable to take advantage of it.
Howard with the foul. 3:13 to go. Beautiful night. Temperatures in the 60s today. It was a gorgeous day in Atlanta, Georgia. ACC Network Basketball is presented by Geico. Save even more when you bundle home and car insurance. Been a nice night for the NC State Wolfpack. Kevin Keats got an early big lead, and they've held off the Yellow Jackets all evening. Rodney Howard just fouled out, by the way. 14 points, 11 rebounds. He is done for the night. And Cam Hayes, the sophomore from Greensboro, will be at the line. And an 80% foul shooter. About 3 minutes to go.
Is that called an announcer's jinx or no?
I'm not sure that is. No.
Not sure. We'll blame that on the timeout. He got iced during the timeout.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks for getting me off the hook on that one.
Oh my God. I mean, if someone else, definitely I would throw them under the bus, but not sure.
Coleman on the move. That'll roll off the iron. Taps out his own miss. Sturtevant wants a 3 and buries it.
We've talked about Sturtevant being aggressive, but that's only his second made field goal on the evening. But 10 points for him, getting into double figures. And without Smith giving Georgia Tech much production here tonight, Sturtevant has to play the bulk of the minutes at the point guard spot.
Sebron gives it up. Helms with a long one. Rebound tip to the baseline. Sebron still working hard. It's going to go the other way, said Ted Valentine. It'll be Georgia Tech's basketball. 2:16 to go. And can they build a little bit? They've got BC coming up. North Carolina, they're at Wake and at FSU on March 5.
Well, Boston College, of course, a winnable game for them at home. And then when you get North Carolina at home, the NC State is a different program when the Tar Heels come into the building. I could care less about the records. You throw all of it out, that's a winnable game for them as well. So Kevin Keats and his group hopefully have an opportunity here to build on some momentum after what has been a productive trip to Atlanta.
Wolfpack will have the basketball with 1:51 to go. They've missed 8 consecutive shots. But they built up a big lead, and they've held it. Hayes will bring it out and run a little bit of clock here, under 2 minutes. Cam Hayes to drive, and Moore with a nice rejection. And the Yellow Jackets have the basketball. 90 seconds to go. And a reach in and a foul on Sebron.
Well, I can say that right now with a minute and a half remaining, you would probably think that a 16-point lead is safe, but I'm sure Kevin Keats is not happy with the way his team has finished this game. Really have played more so to the score than they have trying to be solid down the stretch.
And missed a bunch of shots too. Moore flips it up. That'll drop in. 73-59. Another turnover. Picked off by Kelly. He can't hit the shot. Out of the pack comes Thomas Allen. Helms. He's been cold. But get a second one though.
You don't need that shot. At this point in the game, it's no point in taking that shot. And right now, Kevin Keats with the ice grill on Jericho Helms. And I can now at this point guarantee that Kevin Keats will not be happy with the way his team finished this game.
Sturtevant with a foul. So 48 seconds to go. NC State should have this one salted away. But Sebron will be at the line. sophomore from Norfolk, Virginia. There's another one coming. Came in averaging 18 points, 9 rebounds per game. NC State trying to snap a losing skid that has reached 6 consecutive games. Helms trying to get out of that trap, and a foul against the Yellow Jackets with 42.1 to go. And Helms marches right to the line. They like him at the line, 84%. So Helms, the senior, has another one on the way.
Wolfpack, number 12, Chase Graham.
Quavion Smith had an outstanding night with 26 points.
NC State substitution number 20.
Sebron will hit the bench, and so will Cam Hayes for Kevin Keats. And Helms makes the pair, and Smith is back on, and Helms out of the ball game. Smith coming back in. Did not look like Coach Keats was all that happy with his outstanding freshman a couple of moments ago. The scoop shot is up and in by Miles Kelly.
Yeah, agreed. I believe that was definitely a coachable moment you're talking about between Coach Keats and Quavion Smith. And North Carolina State continues to turn the basketball over.
No basket there. Foul before the shot, but another turnover.
Wolfpack foul charge for number 12, Chase
With
Graham.
27
First
seconds to go.
17 foul.
I mentioned that Smith had a better scoring game against North Carolina. He had 34 against the Tar Heels, but 26 tonight.
With 26 and an efficient 26. You think about 9 of 13 from the field, 6 for 8 from 3. Also 8 rebounds, 3 assists for him. So he did more than score, but he really was a difference maker in this game tonight.
As the basketball here in the final seconds. So NC State on their victory, on their way to a win, 76-61.
A building block for Coach Keats, his staff. I think this is something they can use to build some momentum finishing up going down the stretch of ACC play.
That's your final. Boy, they were really, really good in the first half. Particularly Smith and Hayes. They led the charge. Kevin Keats' first career win as the NC State head coach against Georgia Tech. He had been 0-4. The Yellow Jackets dropped to 10-15, 3-11 in the conference. NC State improving to 11-16 and 4-12 in the ACC. That's the story tonight here in Atlanta. Thanks so much for joining us. The Wolfpack kind of running away in that first half. They're up 51-25 at the break, and they salt the win away here against Georgia Tech. Dave O'Brien for Corey Alexander. Good night, everybody.